For a while now, I've been trying to write something further about AI being used to help you write. But every time I finish a script, something else pops up and makes it obsolete. Last time, it was ChatGPT that blasted its way into the consciousness of everyone. So let's start again, and let's get ChatGPT to help us out. Now, just a note, it is now extremely difficult to get onto ChatGPT. It's always busy, and they're starting up a pay model for easier access. The sign-up requires confirmation of email and a code by telephone. The first time I tried, the code took about 4 hours to arrive and was, by then, useless. I finally managed to get on in the UK on a weekday at 8 a.m, probably when the US had largely gone to bed. So my feelings on creative use of AI are mixed. I'm not a fan of using it for actual writing. I don't have a problem with using it for more admin-like tasks, though. I don't like that everyone's work was scraped from the internet without most of the world knowing what was happening. And I have concerns about the whole who owns the copyright if anyone issue. But given that, I thought I'd ask ChatGPT how it thinks writers should use it. I mean, it should know, shouldn't it? I'm going to read out the responses and then comment. What are the ways you can help a fiction writer? As a language model, I can assist a fiction writer in several ways. 1. Generating ideas. I can suggest plot lines, characters, settings, and themes for their story. 2. Proofreading. I can help the writer check for grammatical errors, typos, and inconsistencies in their work. 3. Character development. I can help the writer flesh out their characters by providing suggestions for their personalities, backgrounds, and motivations. 4. World building. I can assist with building a rich and believable setting by offering suggestions for geography, culture, history, and technology. Plot refinement. I can help the writer tighten up their story by suggesting edits to the pacing, structure, and flow of the narrative. 6. Generating dialogue. I can assist with writing natural-sounding dialogue between characters. 7. Offering advice. I can provide general tips and recommendations for improving the writer's craft, based on established writing practices. So, as I've already said, I have a problem with the actual creative writing elements, of which there are many here. If you don't decide on your plotline, characters, settings, world, etc., whose idea is this? Everyone will have their own ideas on that. But it really has to become the norm that you admit up front that you've used AI to help you. However, I found the other items more interesting. Proofreading, editing, and writing advice. Maybe I should have asked it what it considered to be established writing practice. Instead, I asked about the other. Can you expand on how you can help with proofreading and editing? Sure. As a language model, I can help with proofreading and editing by 1. Correcting grammatical errors. I can identify and correct incorrect grammar, spelling, and punctuation in the writer's work. 2. Improving sentence structure. I can suggest changes to sentence structure to make the writing clearer, more concise, and more engaging. 3. Checking for consistency. I can help the writer maintain consistency in their writing by checking for consistency in character names, plot details, and tone. 4. Enhancing clarity. I can help the writer make their writing more concise and easy to understand by suggesting cuts and rephrasings where necessary. 5. Improving dialogue. I can help the writer write natural-sounding dialogue that accurately reflects the characters and their relationships. 6. Offering suggestions. I can suggest alternative phrasing or word choices to enhance the impact of the writer's words and help them better convey their intended meaning. Note: while I can assist with proofreading and editing, it's important to remember that I am an AI model and not a human editor. A human editor may still be necessary for a thorough and professional proofreading and editing process. So basically it's saying it can work like any other grammar app. I'm not a fan of grammar apps, but more than that, I do find the improving dialogue so it's more natural sounding to be problematic, because honestly the way things are phrased and repeated within ChatGPT doesn't fill me with confidence on that score. However, I appreciate that it says you need a human editor too. How about non-fiction writers? How can you help them? As a language model, I can also assist non-fiction writers in several ways. 1. Research assistance. I can help the writer gather information and data on a given topic, synthesizing it into a clear and concise form. 2. Structuring the content. I can assist with organizing the writer's content into a logical and easy-to-follow structure, such as an outline or table of contents. 3. Enhancing readability. I can help improve the readability of the writer's content by suggesting changes to sentence structure, word choice, and tone. 4. Fact-checking. I can help the writer verify the accuracy of the information in their work and suggest sources for further research. 5. Offering recommendations. I can provide general tips and best practices for non-fiction, such as using anecdotes, statistics, and expert quotes to support arguments. 6. Generating ideas. I can suggest new angles or approaches for the writer to take with their non-fiction work. 7. Proofreading. I can assist with correcting grammatical errors, typos, and inconsistencies in the writer's work. So some of the same things come up again. The main difference, though, is the emphasis on research, and there's a fact-checking element. Let's hold off on those till after the next question. If you were asked to do research on a particular topic, how accurate would you estimate your research to be? In other words, how much fact-checking would the questioner have to do? As a language model, I was trained on a diverse range of texts and have knowledge on many topics. However, it's important to note that my training data is from the internet, which can contain misinformation. So basically you can't trust anything it tells you. That isn't strictly true, obviously, but don't be fooled into thinking that you're getting good information, because that may not be the case. The service doesn't actually claim what you will get will be accurate, if you actually read the information on it before using. Okay, let's go back to the proofreading and editing items. In order to benefit from the proofreading, editing, and other writing and checking suggestions, I assume a writer would have to copy their text into the question box here. How many characters can be added in one block? The maximum number of characters you can input in one message on OpenAI's API is 4,096 characters. However, this limit may be different on other platforms or applications that use OpenAI's API. If a writer's text exceeds this limit, they can break it into multiple messages, and I will still be able to assist with proofreading, editing, and other suggestions. And because I was being lazy, roughly how many words is that? A rough estimate is that 4,096 characters is approximately 700 to 800 words, depending on the average length of the words and sentences used. However, this can vary greatly as some words are longer and some sentences are longer. It's always best to check the word count of the text to get a more accurate estimate. So ChatGPT itself wouldn't be very efficient for this unless you were writing something very short. Another thing that everyone says it's great for is metadata type tasks. So, how can you help a writer with metadata? As a language model, I can assist a writer with metadata in several ways. 1. Keyword generation. I can help the writer identify relevant keywords to include in the metadata that accurately describe the content of the piece. 2. Title creation. I can suggest compelling and descriptive titles that accurately reflect the content of the piece and make it more discoverable. Description writing. I can help the writer write clear and concise descriptions of their content that accurately reflect its purpose and content. 4. Optimization. I can provide tips and recommendations for optimizing the metadata to improve the discoverability of the content on search engines and other platforms. 5. Formatting. I can assist with formatting the metadata in a way that adheres to platform or industry standards and ensures it is properly interpreted by search engines. 6. Accuracy. I can help the writer ensure that the metadata is accurate and up to date to ensure the best results for discoverability and search engine optimization. 7. Relevance. I can help the writer make sure that the metadata accurately reflects the content and its purpose, and is relevant to the intended audience. Now, all of that does sound good, and it will have a lot of data to pull from with this when you consider how many books are being published every day, and presumably its ability to scrape that information and determine which ones are doing well. But more importantly, what information do you require to be inputted in order to help with metadata? In order to help with metadata, I typically require the following information. 1. Content. A brief summary or description of the content of the piece, so that I can understand the purpose and focus of the content. 2. Target audience. Information about the intended audience for the content, such as age, interests, and geographic location, to help me suggest keywords and phrases that are relevant to the audience. 3. Platform or channel. Information about where the content will be published or distributed, such as a website, social media platform, or publishing channel, so that I can ensure the metadata is formatted correctly and meets the requirements of the platform or channel. 4. Keyword suggestions. A list of keywords or phrases that the writer would like to target or include in the metadata, so that I can make suggestions and optimizations based on their preferences. 5. Context. Any additional information or context about the content or its purpose that the writer feels is relevant, so that I can provide the most accurate and helpful suggestions for the metadata. You're welcome. So this is what you need to input if you're thinking of using it to generate metadata for your book. This, I think, is likely to be the only thing I might use it for, if I can ever get back in. So I think my biggest tip for using ChatGPT would be always ask beforehand what it needs to perform the task you want it to do. If you don't, you could end up wasting a lot of time.